Hi, good people. It's been a while. I'm still soldiering on. Thank you so much for your support, your love, and for subscribing. I'm still getting more and more subscribers. Thank you so much, and kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can be getting more videos to inspire you, and together we grow together. And the last time I talked about Crossroad, and the other episode I was talking about support system. Again, today I would still want to look at support system, but I would still want to look at it an in-depth of questions that we would ask ourselves, questions that would help us to know, am I on the right path? Am I in the wrong path? Why is a support system very key? When I was talking about at a crossroad, there are moments when you're going through very difficult moments, and I think I mentioned in the other video that at times someone would mislead you, and unknowingly to you, you just follow, and you wonder, how did I follow this person? Because at that point in time, you are not in your right mind or frame, and that's why many a times people always say sober up. Not because it's you're drunk per se, but because your mind is not together with whatever is going on. You're just in a confused state, to say the least. Or if not confused, a lot of things are happening. You're overwhelmed, another word I would use. Therefore, I was talking about us. Whenever we go through struggles in life, we need a support system. At our crossroad, we need a support system. And we were looking in depth and saying, who is this support system? And I think I mentioned earlier, as people are growing older, even the children, as they grow and mature into adults, they could be a support system. They could guide you and teach you and tell you some things. It could be a mentor, a coach, your pastor in church, someone you look up to in most cases whenever you're going through a struggle or something. Whenever you want to find out questions, they are there for you. But then the key question that we also need to ask ourselves, what is the criteria for you or for me to choose this support system? What would you do? What would I do to know that whoever I've chosen is the right person? The person that you look up to as a support system, is this person, when I talk to them, that whenever I confide in them, I feel respected? I feel that my space is listened to, and whatever I'm going through, they are listening. Does this person add value in your life? Any moment you talk to them, do you feel like, a beautiful word that I can say, fulfilled in whatever you're going through? Do you feel like, yes, I think you've met my need, and whatever I was asking for, I think I'm satisfied? And when I look at this, I remember some time back, I think I've shared in one of my videos, there's a decision I made some years, like 10 years back, of moving, I think, to Kitengela, and I was like, hey, did I do the right decision? Those who know my past history would know. And this person just came to me and said, there are decisions, Joyce, in life that are neither right or wrong, but have to be made. And when someone tells you that, you're like, has that person answered you? But for me, that was my answer. I think I needed to hear that at that point in time, to know the decision I have done was the right one. This person did not tell me, Joyce, what you've done is not right. Neither what you've done is right. But whatever he was saying is, it was not like I had done something wrong per se, but it's a huge decision that I had made, and that would affect the people around me, and a decision that was not wrong, but at that moment it did not feel, it was just a bit awkward, let me just say. And at that moment I was at a vulnerable stage, and you want to hear what someone will tell you. And him just telling me that it is neither right or wrong, but it's a decision has to be made. I think that was the perfect sense for me. So when I talk like that, there are things that you've gone to consult, to talk to someone, and maybe in their talking, they've answered your question unknowingly. But you come out of there feeling better, feeling fulfilled, feeling renewed, and you're like, I think now I know what to do. And so a support system is someone, and for me, this person was someone now I can look up to. Any moment I know I really need a critical question that I need to answer, I know this person will guide me. And he was still family, and I respect that person for that. So if that person leaves you fulfilled, then that person becomes your support system, and you can always go back to them. They become like a pillar in your life. After being with this person, the gratitude that you feel, and whatever you go to do and you succeed. I think I was saying again in the other videos, remember to always give thanks, because they have made you make a step in life that was towards your good and not to destroy you. And I also want to talk about people who sap that energy, the little energy that is in you. You go to someone, talk to someone, maybe you're just sharing and talking with them, and the little energy that is remaining, like a straw of soda, they sap it out, and now you're like, I think I'm just done, and you get into a hopeless situation. I do not think that is a support system. Look wisely, check wisely who the people you're working with, what do they tell you? Do you leave their place, as I've said earlier, feeling better or feeling worse? If you're feeling worse than you left, then that is not a support system. So those are the critical questions that you need to identify as a criteria to help you identify as a good support system. Because when we say a support system, we need to add a good support system, because it could be anything. Again, those other personal questions we'd ask ourselves that now go back to you as a person. As the support system, as the person is talking to me and teaching me, am I ready to listen? Do I have a teachable spirit? Do I struggle with listening to what others say? Or when you're being taught, I've ever talked to someone, I've dealt with, I mentor a lot of people, and you're telling them and they already know. So what is the point of me telling you what you already know? See, I just leave you and you continue with your life and whatever decisions you've decided. But if you have a teachable spirit, it does not necessarily mean you have to take everything to the latter. Pick what you feel will gain, will transform you. Pick what you feel will benefit you. Someone would talk in like topics and diverse topics to you in many ways. I want to look for a word to say. Actually, like you've told someone and talked, just pick a few points that you feel, out of these points, this will help me. So have a teachable spirit. Then another key question that you need to ask yourself, a very personal question: do I put into practice what I've learned? Because there's a difference of learning and also putting into practice. Do I put into practice what I've been taught so that I can see transformation in my life? Am I being transformed in whatever I've had? And also another key question that we could ask ourselves: how can I help others to also learn from whatever I've learned? And that's why many people say, tell a friend to tell a friend. What I've learned, tell someone else, grow someone else. Or someone else could be going through the same thing and you say, this is how I went through it. This is how I navigated through it. Therefore, it's very key that once I've been helped, help others, reach out to others. And when I was preparing this topic of the support system, because I think I'll just end it from here, I remembered a comedy that I used to love watching, comedy of that was called Friends, that had Phoebe, Joey, and those, I think 5 friends. And one thing about those 5 friends, anytime someone would come out of wherever they've come out and they come and sit on that couch, there was like a couch that they used to like sitting, and they would share their challenges. They would be each other's keeper. They would listen to one another. They would take care of one another. They would be there for one another. And it was and we would watch because we could see the way they were networking and being each other's keeper. Where I also talk about a support system, there's also another program I love watching, by the way, and I loved watching from way long. Neighbors was the longest, if you know, you know. Neighbors was the longest episode that we'd watch at 6 o'clock, and we would sit there to watch. And you tell someone, I'm rushing home to go and watch Neighbors. Why are you watching Neighbors? Because the neighbors are well knit. They have created a good rapport. They're each other's support system. And I like Neighbors because at times they would even cook and go to another house to eat together and warm each other up and be a sister's keeper and a brother's keeper. Therefore, the questions that I want to ask you: who is your support system? And if you don't have, find one. And maybe there was, but you just never got time. I think I said it in the other video. But we all need a support system. People who are very significant to our lives. People who fill us up and make us whole. in the way they treat us, in the way they talk to us, in the way they approach us, in the way they uplift our spirits and make us whole. You need a support system. Find one. God bless you as you're watching this video. Bye-bye.